It's 4 a.m. The city is completely silent. Your family is sleeping, and yet you're wide awake. No, you're not scrolling through social media listening to me. You're rehearsing. You're replaying every single word that you said yesterday at that boring board meeting. You're pre-scripting the 3 sentences that you'll speak tomorrow. You're scanning your inbox, looking for that email that will finally expose you as the fraud you're convinced you are. That lie you've been telling yourself. This is the 4 a.m. rehearsal. This is the private, exhausting, lonely performance. This is the real work you do. And if you're still listening to this and you are the 7-figure business and the C-suite title with the keynote speeches, well, that's the easy part. The hard part is the crushing weight of you pretending you belong in a life that you built with your own 2 hands. There's a common name for this, and it's a name for this feeling. You may have heard of it, imposter syndrome. But what no one really tells you about this feeling, it isn't a personal flaw. It's a price you pay for being a brilliant woman in a system truly not built for you. And today, by the end of this video, that all stops. Now, it's not self-doubt that causes this. It's actually a crisis of identity. So let me be very clear. Imposter syndrome is not the same as having a self-doubt moment. Self-doubt is a normal, healthy, balance check. Imposter syndrome is a chronic, corrosive belief that your true self is not good enough and your successful self is a performance. And it's that deep gut level fear that you're fundamentally fooling everyone. But it manifests in 3 distinctive ways, especially for high achieving women like yourself. The first one is you discount your success. You attribute all your wins to an external factor. I got lucky. The team did all the work. They just wanted a woman on the panel. You deflected the praise because internalize it feels kind of dangerous to you. It's like admitting to a crime you'll eventually be convicted for. The second one is you're addicted to perfectionism. Yes, you over-prepare for everything. You work twice as hard as your peers to ensure there's no cracks, especially in your armor. Your perfectionism isn't about a high standard. Quite frankly, it's a defense mechanism. It's the fear of being judged as incompetent. Number 3, you cannot internalize accomplishment. You reach the summit of a massive goal, and instead of feeling pride, you feel relief. And then there's almost an immediate anxiety about the next thing you'll have to prove. The goalposts, you're always moving because the validation actually never sticks. Now, if you're sitting there right now and that 4 a.m. rehearsal feels really familiar, I see you. I really do. This is the conversation that no one's having in the boardroom. The first step to dismantling any cage is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement, you're in it. I want you to know something symbolic right now. Hit the subscribe button because this isn't for me, this is for you. This is a declaration to yourself that you're done suffering in silence. It's you raising your hand and saying, I've got it. That's my old story and I'm ready to rewrite a new one and end that cycle. Now there's a paradox that will change everything for you right now. Imposter syndrome doesn't happen to people who are actually imposters. It happens to almost exclusively the domain of the highly competent. Why, you may ask? Because there's a competence and confidence gap, simply put. For many high-achieving women especially, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Your expertise makes you actually aware of the little nuances, the complexities, and the potential pitfalls This often is mistaken for inadequacy, when in fact it's a true hallmark of your intelligence. Incompetent people rarely doubt their own abilities. They have this sort of grandiose aura about them. Some people call this narcissism. But you were trained to be the good girl, not the sovereign leader. You were rewarded for following the rules, getting the A grades. You were not taught to make waves. You were taught that your value came from external approval. But leadership requires you to make waves, for you to trust in your gut in the absence of data, and to approve of yourself first. Your old programming is in direct conflict within your new reality. Number 3, the system is biased. Yes, it's really messed up. So let's be honest. As a woman in leadership, in your position, your competence is often questioned, especially in ways that when a man is not. You face a higher level of scrutiny. Maybe it's external bias or internal doubt, creating that vicious cycle that may feel like an imposter, because in the subliminal and overt ways, the system is constantly asking you to validate yourself for your credentials. The cost of this isn't just stress, it's far more expensive. The actual cost of this is self-estrangement. You're so busy performing the role of successful leaders and that you lose connections with who you are. Your life looks perfect, but it doesn't feel like it's your life. The cost of burnout, the consistent over-proving, the perfectionism, the 4 a.m. rehearsals, and it's a direct path to complete nervous system collapse. And that's just not sustainable. And the most tragic cost, the opportunities that you pass on. The book you didn't write, the company you didn't start, the seat at the table you didn't take. All because that little voice whispered you weren't ready, or that you'll be found out. That is the legacy cost that you are not going to allow. I bet you're asking now, where do I begin? Not with affirmations, not with fake it till you make it, and not with gurus telling you this is how you do it. I've got a simple action for you. Your only assignment until our next video is to notice the voice when it begins to show up during your 4 a.m. rehearsals. Don't fight it. Just label it. Aha, there it is. The fraud feeling, because that's it. By observing it without judgment, you begin to separate yourself from it. You become the observer, not the voice. Do you know what's really cool about this? Is I've seen this work in so many women that I've helped over the last several years. This is the first step of a much larger architect. This is the playlist at your entry point where you can deconstruct every piece of this deconstruct every piece of this, the over-approving, the perfectionism, the burnout. But for a select few, maybe this isn't enough. Maybe you're ready to build an entire foundation. And if that's the case, I've got something for you. If you are a multi-6 or 7-figure leader and you're done with this internal war, I'm going to invite you to something. And that's an application to the Sovereign Ascent. The application link's below in the pinned comments. And this is my private container where I help high-achieving leaders like yourself re-architect your nervous system and identity for your sovereign leadership. This is the end of your self-estrangement. The link is in the first comments. Click on it, learn more, and apply. In my next video, we'll dig into the number one reason you're feeling like a fraud. Yes, I said it, and no apologies. Because this is the biological pattern that you've been running your whole life. And no, it's not your fault. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.